The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
I'll show them, and then I can keep it canceled. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna get them. So good evening. Come to speak with your boy Twitch yet again. Seems last week this coterie spent a night at the club. I believe Mr. Lamar had a date with Kathy with a K. Now, I wasn't in the club, but my sources say there was some skillful maneuvering on the part of Jackie and Destiny to pull off a major cockblock of Mr. Lamar Cade. Now, Eleanor was nowhere to be seen. Neither was Roscoe at first. Though Roscoe did show up later in the evening, just in time for a trip out to watch a nice little MMA fight and meet with Mr. Roche. I hope they managed to negotiate a decent deal, considering all the factors involved. And then I also saw... yes, that was right. Damien coming into the steakhouse to speak with someone, and he left quite upset. What could he have been told that upset him so? Doesn't matter to me. I'm not worried about brouhaha upstarts like Damien. Wonder what they're going to get up to this week. Wonder where Eleanor has been. I always get worried when one of the daughters of Malkav disappear for a little while. We always should stick together. We are one big happy family after all. Remember this, though, going into this week. Be careful who you accept gifts for. And be careful who you accept them from. Those are words to live by. From your boy Twitch. We'll be talking. And I'm gonna get Pentex. They can't do this to me. They can't. They're not allowed.
Good evening and welcome to McStabber Studios' Windy City After Dark. I am the storyteller, Shanky McStabber.
And I'm Rylyn Dare, also known as Mama McStabber in Twitch chat, and I am playing Jacqueline Durand of Clan Ventru. Her friends know her as Jackie.
I'm Gavin, and I play Lamar Cade of Clan La Sombra.
I'm Mandy, and I play Destiny Star Jones, Clan Tosferatu, Kaitif.
I'm Urian, and I play Roscoe Acres, Clan Tremere.
I'm Lady Merriwiff, and I play Eleanor Thurston, Clan Malkavian.
And I'm Jonathan Berkeley, played by Mr. Pondelut, Clan Tremere.
And tonight we actually have a special guest player, and I will let the special guest player, of course, introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Astral Aberration on Twitch. I am a mod for the McStabber Studios streams, and I will be playing Philip Carlson.
And when we were last with this particular coterie, they spent a night at the club where, well, it was an interesting night. It was an exciting night for many of the coterie, frustrating night for some of the coterie. And then afterwards, one Mr. Lamar Cade, who seems to be very popular, had himself another date where he came rolling deep with, a woman on each arm and a Tremere in the wings, just to make sure everything's running deep. And we're going to be picking up sometime after that, few days. But first, Chicago. Ask someone to picture the city, and they will have trouble coming up with a concise description. When people think of New York City, they think of skyscrapers, subways, and muggers. When they think of Los Angeles, they think of sun, smog, and traffic. When they think of Detroit, they think of cars, factories, and decay. But for those of us who know There's only one thing we think of when someone mentions Chicago: vampires. And tonight, we'll tell their story. The first scene we're going to be doing tonight involves Jackie's Haven. Now, when Jackie woke up for the night after sleeping during the day, it seems a courier brought a particular package. It's a piece of art. Now, I'm going to let the one who sent it describe the art in a second. But as always, Etienne, when a art piece comes framed, Etienne hangs it above the mantle in her condo that she's in and leaves it there for when she wakes up. Now, I will let the one who sent it describe the art piece.
So as Jackie walks out of her room and looks in at the mantle and sees new art, what does she see?
She sees a pair of lovers in an embrace. She sees caresses exchanged between lovers with passionate brush strokes and slight hints of red just at the edges of their embrace.
She will run her fingers gently along the painting to feel the strokes. She looks at the artist's signature on it and smiles.
Ma'am, as always, I've put the picture up for you. It arrived courier this morning.
Thank you, Etienne.
Yes, ma'am.
Ask Peter to come here for a moment.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
And he steps out of the room and
She reaches behind the painting to the back of the frame, feels a note tucked into the frame itself, pulls it out, and just holds it until Peter arrives.
Peter steps in the room. You want to see me, Jackie?
Yeah, I do. Need you to do me a favor.
Okay.
Need you to go out to Blue Velvet, low-key like. You know how you used to keep eyes on things around Wicker Park for me?
Yeah.
I want you to keep eyes on that for me.
Sure.
I want to know who's coming in and out of there.
Sure. I mean, I don't know who they are, but I'll get descriptions.
Get descriptions, bring them to me.
If I can, I'll get pictures.
Okay, just be careful. Do not be seen.
Oh, of course.
Very
Anything for you, Jackie.
Thank you, darling.
I'll get on that, I guess, now.
Thank you.
And he steps out of the apartment, leaving Jackie with her note.
And she opens her note, reads it, smiles again, closes it, goes to her safe, places the note in her safe. She has a box that she opens. A stack of letters are wrapped in a royal blue ribbon, and she adds that one to the stack and reties the ribbon and closes the safe.
Okay.
And she asks Etienne to take her to a hotel about 2.5 blocks away.
Okay. And the hotel is actually, I'm going to tell you which one it is, as soon as I can find it here. Give me a minute. I will find it. Perhaps.
It's on
If
his
not-
tab with domain,
Nope, not this particular one.
on his character sheet. It is on his Haven on the 3rd tab of his character sheet.
Okay. I was looking for a different thing on that. Okay. Y'all spoiling my sneaky plans. Oh, well.
No, he's not staying at Sierra's fucking hotel.
The Soffred Chicago.
The Sofitel.
Sofitel?
Mhm.
Yeah, I can't see. I'm blind. Remember that. Okay. So, you go to the hotel. And Etienne drives you, of course, but he's used to these odd requests, so he doesn't even say a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad neighborhood, at least.
No, it's not. And she will ask him to wait with the car, and she will go up to the suite.
Yes, ma'am. I'll pull over to the chauffeur's parking section.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. And you head up to the suite.
Mm-hmm. And as she gets to the door, she knocks on it.
After a few moments, Philip will tend to the door.
And I turn the scene over to Philip and Jackie.
You requested me.
I'm glad you could come.
Of course.
Please, come in.
And I do.
And he
I
will
walk in.
open the door wider.
And I enter. I appreciate the work you sent.
Glad. I hope you appreciated the passion behind it.
I did. And she will lean in and kiss you.
And he will kiss back, tenderly, gently.
And she will lean back and say, "Now, you have put me at ease. I was concerned. I'm glad you remember. I'm glad you remember.
I'm relieved. Truly, you've meant more to me in this life than many things meant to me in life.
She'll reach up and gently stroke your cheek. As do you for me. So tell me, she walks to go have a seat. What brings you to Chicago, my love?
You do.
You flatter me.
It's not entirely as simple as that. My absence was one that pained me. But I had no other option. What happened in London was
You don't have to tell me.
horrific.
You don't have to tell me. I can imagine, and my imagination is bad enough. Are
At
they after you?
last, since I have, as you can see, changed my visage,
Yeah.
it does
still
not
like
seem
it.
so. Oh, that pleases me. But I was kept busy after my escape. First, I was directed to New York, and then I'm sure you've heard what occurred in DC.
I've heard some things. I heard he came back. And then I heard he left.
I truly fear the notion that I may be called back there to deal with him in time. But as things stand, the Camarilla and Vitel seem in something of a standoff. For the time being.
Well, I heard Karina's now prince.
Yes, and I think it was due. She's competent. She even reminds me of Anne sometimes. She's a competent manipulator.
I can see it. I can see it. I can see it. Yes, I do pity those who underestimate her.
And I'm sure she will spare them no pity, all the same.
No, she really won't. She really won't. So, I saw someone from here. Just a few nights ago.
From DC.
Yeah, it's been so long since we were there together. Oh. Brought back a lot of memories. But Gino Manatelli.
Gino?
Yeah.
He got out.
I thought he was like loyal to Vitel to a fault. What do you mean he got out?
The last I'd heard. I was almost certain he had ended with Vitel.
Oh yeah, no, he was still around. I just saw him the other night, and there's no mistaking that guy. I mean, he still favors the pinstripe suits.
That is of some concern. But then again, it seems a great many things in this domain are of great concern.
Indeed. Indeed. There are quite a few things that should concern you in this city.
Not the least of which I heard from Prince Jackson himself.
And what did he tell you?
He was informative enough to tell me that war with the Lupine was brewing.
Yeah, somebody instigated that.
Do you have any idea of whom?
I have no idea yet. But I'm working on it. Yeah, someone decided to pin a lupine pelt to the front door of one of Prince Jackson's establishments.
That would be no small feat of skill.
Indeed.
Do we have any indication as to whether it would be a group
I have no
or an
idea.
individual?
I have no idea yet. But it did remind me of some tactics that I saw when we were in DC. Remember how Vitel used to love to fabricate fucking threats to tighten the grip on his rule?
So you fear it may be a symbol of his clan?
I'm thinking. But I don't know. I have one of them in my coterie, but he's not honestly capable of doing such a thing. So, but to say that, they have a delegation here that seems to legitimately want to join our sect. They have concerns about their survival if they don't. But that's not to say that's all of them we know of in the city.
Mm-hmm. And it is not beyond them to manipulate a threat to consolidate their power.
Exactly. Exactly. Please.
I have no doubt that Justica Parr will ask me to investigate this matter. It is not the right time for a war between Kindred and Lupine in a city that has long been a bastion of Camarilla.
I agree. I agree. I will continue to do what I can to find out what I can. I do know that the lupine selected for skinning happened to have been related to a thin blood. Seems like one of them one of their kinfolk got embraced by someone.
What foolishness!
Yes, exactly. You came at such an impeccable time, Nolan.
I was truly hoping for solitude with one to who I am bound.
She reaches out and holds your hand. Unfortunately, we do not have that luxury at this moment.
Philip will squeeze her hand gently. But he looks pensive.
If you send word to Parr, let her know I'm working on the task she has assigned me. I have some leads that I'm chasing down.
Very well.
Thank you.
I will be sure to inform.
Thank you. Is there anything I can do for you, my love?
Philip will lean in and kiss gently on her forehead. The fact that you have waited so long and given me So much ground is all I could ask for.
Well, I can't be here too long. It would be suspicious. Who knows who's watching me at this point in time. But perhaps one evening we should do dinner. I know the perfect place for takeout.
With that, Philip will break into a smile. Dinner with you, my dear. Nothing would please me more.
I will arrange it. And be in touch. And she kisses you and walks out.
And as you go out and get in the car, Jackie, why don't you roll wits awareness?
Absolutely. Can I use my instinct specialty?
Sure.
Okay.
Go right ahead.
And we are going to willpower that.
Very nice. 6 successes.
Mm-hmm.
No, wait a minute.
That's a messy crit.
That's a messy crit.
That is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 successes.
But on a passive roll such as this,
Mm-hmm.
I don't do the messy crits because it doesn't make sense that her beast would pop out
While she's looking around.
Yeah, as she's going to her car. Okay, I've made a note.
Okay.
And this is where this particular scene's in. And thank you for playing tonight,
Thanks,
Astral.
Astral.
This was
Thank
to
you.
set a scene, some other stuff coming.
It has indeed been my pleasure.
So
I'm so looking forward to see how this develops. And we got plans, people.
Yes, we do.
So we, of course, Astral's in chat. Everybody say good job. Tell him hi.
Yes, please.
Tell him what
please.
you thought. And we will see him next time he's in.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Welcome back. For Fade to Black, we had our special guest. So now we've got 2 other scenes that are riled up here. All of this occurring pretty much the same night of all things. I think first, we're going to go straight for Lamar had something he wanted to do.
Lamar awakens that evening and he decides to put on his, what he calls his work clothes, some jeans, black shirt, the black hoodie, a black beanie, hood up. He's going to get in the car. He's going to head to the hardware store, pick himself up a nice heavy sledgehammer. He's going to drive on out to the south. He's going to drive down the south side, head to the Oakwood Cemetery, where he'll make his way inside, find the lot of a particular police sergeant by the name of Deke Woods, Timothy Deacon Deke Woods. Looks at all the police honors and all the flowers this respected pillar of the community has amassed for himself, even years after his death. All these people who like to come out and say that he helped them when they were younger, but Lamar knows this man and knows him much differently. He was Lamar's tormentor for many, many years during his immortal life, and Lamar holds a grudge, just a little bit. So he will make sure that there is no surveillance in this particular area, and then he will go to work on the tombstone and smash it into 1,000 tiny pieces, break all of the medals and awards, scatter them all over the place. He's still a little upset, but once he's done, he'll back off, say that it was good, and begin making his way out of the cemetery so that he can meet with his coterie.
And there was a satisfying crunch and feeling as that sledgehammer slammed into the headstone. I mean, it radiated up your arms and felt good, but I need you to roll wits awareness. 2, huh? As you're heading back to your car, a woman's voice. That was a little aggressive, wasn't it? And Zal steps out.
Laura smiles. Evening.
I didn't mean to bother you. I just, I have a thing about graves and cemeteries, and it seems odd to go in there and just smash one up like that. That's
He deserved worse than that, but the sad thing about people dying is they can only die once in most cases.
That's not true.
Oh, please elaborate. I'd love to hear more about this plan. I want to sign up for your newsletter.
The dead, they exist too. And they can be killed.
You know anybody familiar with that sort of thing?
You might say it's in my blood.
I like that. I like that a lot. But I mean, was you just in the neighborhood tonight, or what?
I come here often, actually. It's calming. I like the place. That's why I was curious about smashing one up. It's going to cause a bit of a difficulty for me for the next week or two as they start staking it out, and I can't just hang out here, you see? As I've told you, I sometimes play music, but other times I just like to sit and listen to the voices.
What do they say?
It depends on which ones are speaking that night.
So, do they all just hang out here and bug you with anything they have to talk about, or?
Some do. Some don't. Some, when they find out I can see them and hear them, they don't like it. They get angry, run away, cause problems. Others ask me if I can help them, if I can do something for them. Some just want someone to talk to on this side, even if they don't like me as much. They don't like us, our kind. It seems a lot of jealousy.
I mean, we did kind of we got the better end of the deal. I mean,
we died and didn't have to deal with what they do. Yeah, some of them are pretty mean, though.
I've heard that, like, when you run into one of those mean ones, like, do they normally say anything about why they're pissed off, or they tell you anything?
No. They just do things sometimes. Sometimes they say things and then I talk to them later and the others are not happy that was shared. The mean ones tell their own secrets, which doesn't make sense to me at all, but I mean, why would you tell me in the first place if it was a secret? And why would you get mad that you told me a secret?
Some people can't help themselves.
Yeah, I don't understand it all. I've never understood it all. But, it's what it is.
So I hear some of them break glasses.
Yeah, I've heard that. Why, you've seen that?
Here and there. We tend to make a lot of the ones that end up filling up places like this, but
yeah, that some of them I've seen some mad about that before. But yeah, some break glasses, some, you hear about people talk all those ghost stories and stuff. Some of them are bullshit, but some of them are pretty real.
I will keep that in mind for the future. You gonna stay and play a few for
No,
them,
I'm gonna leave before the police show up. I'm sure the caretaker heard your You're fun. You probably scared the shit out of them, though.
Yeah. Need a ride?
No. Don't worry. They won't be able to. Where I'm going to go, they won't be able to find me.
All right. Well, you have a good night.
You too. And tell your friends I said hello.
I will do just that. They'll be happy to hear from you.
Maybe I'll stop in. I don't know. You want someone to play in the club some night?
No, let me talk to a couple of people. I'm sure that'll go well, but I don't like, just inviting people without talking it out with my friends.
Just an idea I had. You all, unlike a lot of the people in the city, you all at least speak to me. Don't tell me I'm a clan killer or, betrayer of my blood or something.
I've heard all that shit at least 1,000 times in the last 3 weeks, so kind of just rolls off me now. Water ducks back, all that stuff.
Must
How
be
do
nice.
we get in touch with you?
I don't have a phone. I'll stop by one night next week.
Sounds good. And yeah, you can talk to Mr. Rand and Mr. Berkeley, and I'm sure they'll make it work for you playing at the club or something.
Sounds great. And she flashes you just a hesitant smile, like she's just not used to smiling. She says, might want to get out of here, though, because I'm the caretaker. I'm not joking. Cops are probably already coming.
Yeah, and I didn't want to kill anybody else tonight, so I will see you later. And he heads to his car.
Okay. And 1 minute, you see her there, and when you turn your head and look away for a second, and you look back, she's not there anymore.
So that's how that feels. He gets in the car and
Now,
he'll think about that on the way to the steakhouse.
And now we go to Miss Eleanor. Eleanor, where were you the past week?
Oh, I've been at home. I've had to have a very long think about things. And I had to speak with my dolly. But I don't think my dolly was speaking back.
Never did.
Disappointing. But I've been reading my book on chess so that maybe I'll know something next time I see it, because I will see something. And the Jade Amulet is on my mind. It's actually also on the floor, like the One Ring. I just left it there and watch it. It doesn't move or anything. It just sits there. But after a while, because I can't just stay at home all the time, that wouldn't do. And I'm feeling a lot better. But I think I've now worked up the courage to do it. I need to go speak to Ben about it. But before I do, I'd like to try Spirit's Touch on the amulet.
Oh, very good. Let me pull up Spirit's Touch to make sure I'm going through it correctly.
I do need to rouse for that.
Yes, you do. It's one rouse check.
Yes.
You are going to roll intelligence plus all specs.
Okay.
And what is the information sought? Let's see. Difficulty 3 is for something a few days before. Something more could be 6 or higher. I will let you roll, and depending on your successes, we will go backwards and what you can tell from it.
Okay, cool. I'm going to rouse first.
And you did not get hungrier.
Yay!
No taunting of the beast this time.
No taunting this time, and it's intelligence aspects.
That's
yes.
correct. And remember, of course, add your potency.
Yep. Thank you for reminding me.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot of dice.
That is a lot of dice. Ooh.
6 successes with a critical success. Very nice. Very nice indeed. The first thing you go back to is though Ben gave it to you, it is not Ben's. It's the first thing you can feel from it. And then, as you dig back further, it wasn't in his possession long. He only had it a few days. You know this. You don't know where it came from before then. And as you draw back further, there's something wrong. You can see where it's located. The moon isn't right. The stars are not right. Where it's located is not right. Black hedges surround it. And it's not in Chicago. You don't know where this location is. It's definitely not Chicago. And it sat there a very long time. As far back as you can reach. It sat in a clearing, surrounded by these black hedges on a pedestal. Until it wasn't, and it was with Ben. And then your spirit touch fades away.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But I pick it up, put it into my pocket.
And when you pick it up after doing spirit's touch, it has a chill that it shouldn't over it. It lasts just a few seconds. But you feel the cold of the grave as you pick it up. And then it suddenly stops feeling cold.
Well, it wasn't forged in the fires of Mount Doom. I'm going to go see Ben.
Okay. And I know you don't generally drive. How do you get to see Ben? How do you go see him?
I take an Uber.
A Destiny special.
The Destiny special.
And the driver takes you over there. And of course, when you arrive, the shop is open. And as you come in, Ben comes scurrying out of the back room. Eleanor, I didn't expect you tonight.
You didn't expect me tonight?
Well, no, not at all.
It was sort of a spontaneous decision on my part. Do you have a few minutes?
Well, of course, I always have a few minutes for you.
Oh,
how are you doing?
I'm doing a little better. I had kind of a rough week, but, it comes and goes.
Well, you notice we have that problem quite a bit, don't you?
Yeah, you'd think I'd be used to it after so long, but no. No, I'm not.
And he notices the shift. There's something wrong, Eleanor?
Yes, perhaps. Probably. Maybe. And I'm hoping you might be able to help me.
Well, I'm always here to help you.
I have a question about that amulet that you gave me for luck.
Amulet? What amulet?
Don't play games.
You know
remember?
I don't play games. What amulet?
This one. And I'll take it out of my pocket and I'll hold it in my hand and show him.
Okay. Let me roll something. And he takes 3 steps back from you. Where did you get that?
From you.
No, you didn't. No, you did not.
Well, how else would you explain that I came here and had a nice chat with you, and before I left, you gave it to me for luck?
When was this?
Oh, a couple weeks ago.
You haven't been here in months, Eleanor.
I beg your pardon?
You have not been here in months.
It was 2 weeks ago, and you had a new set of tarot cards.
I have the tarot cards. How did you know about those?
Because I was here, I saw them.
You were not here. I've seen that amulet
Where'd you see it?
in a nightmare.
Tell me of it.
I was in a maze, trapped into black hedges. Everywhere I ran, couldn't find a way out. I was chased. Almost felt like I was being pushed towards something. And then I stumbled on that in a clearing in the hedgerows, on a pedestal. Had a shaft of moonlight on it.
But not our moon.
No, it's not ours. And then I woke from the dream. This was a few weeks ago? 2 weeks? 3 weeks? Right about the time I got my tarot deck. And you say you were here.
Yes. Yes, I was. I came here and we talked about other things that we'd seen.
You were not here.
Chessboard.
I've seen the chessboard. How did you know of the chessboard?
I've seen the chessboard. I've seen it with pieces moved. And we discussed that. What was the last thing that you've seen on the chessboard? What was the last move you'd seen on the chessboard?
I saw the white knight take a black pawn.
A few days ago?
Yes. And then I saw the black knight moving from behind the row.
I had not seen that yet.
You weren't here. You weren't on my security?
Oh.
I haven't seen you. How did you...
If I had an answer, I would give it to you. And I believe you, Ben, that I wasn't.
I don't believe
here.
me. I don't believe there's something going on here that I don't understand. Because I saw that amulet in a dream. And you claim I gave it to you.
Yes.
At the same time frame when I was having this dream.
Yes. Did you say you got the tarot cards before you had the dream?
Right before I had the dream.
May I see them?
Of course. Come step in the back room.
Thank you.
And when you step in there, he points to a deck of tarot cards. They are the same ones you saw before.
Oh, good. They're the same ones. I was beginning to doubt.
And he picks them up. I mean, you've seen these?
Yes. I mean, from, sitting across from you, I did see them. You said you had purchased them.
Well, yes, but you had... Something's not right, Eleanor. This is not right.
No. May I touch them?
Of course, and he hands the deck to you.
I take the deck and I'm going to use Spirit's Touch again.
Okay. And when you hold the deck, and as you're going to Spirit's Touch it, you notice the tower, the tower, the tower, and the tower. The whole deck appears to be the same card.
going to rouse check.
What's wrong, Eleanor?
Ben, are all these cards different, or are they all the same?
Of course they're different. And he looks at it and he goes, why are they changed?
Well, why are they changed?
No. They weren't. I was just using them before you came in. Why are they changed now?
I don't like this new superpower, Ben. I don't like it at all.
I don't like it either.
They were the same. They were a normal tarot deck until just now.
Yes.
I'm going to try something, Ben. It shouldn't affect you, but after this, I'm not so certain.
I mean, I trust you, but go ahead. And you're going to Spirit's Touch?
I am going to Spirit's Touch.
Okay,
I did do my
again.
rouse check. I did already roll the roused. Right.
Okay, and you made it?
Mm-hmm. This time.
Once again, intelligence all specs with a bonus die. Plus one die. It still got it. Good.
Oh, it still got it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to willpower those two.
Okay.
I'm just going to do that.
So 5 successes.
That makes
That's a
it's
crit.
critical. Yep.
Makes it a crit.
That's 7 with a crit.
7. Very interesting margin that time. As your Spirit's Touch, you feel the attachment and everything. Ben was using them before you came in. But that is not the first thing you sense. They weren't here. For a brief instant. They were somewhere else. Can't see where. And in that brief instant, you can't see what it was. It's a shadowy form. But it was looking at you. Some things you don't want to know. Walk away, Eleanor. Walk away. And then they were in Ben's hands, and he was doing a reading. And with that successes, he's had them the exact amount of time he claims. You even remember them being sent through the mail. You can sense the envelope around them. You can't pull the full centuries they've been around, but everything else matches. What did you see?
I saw the cards that you got them in the mail. I saw you using them.
Yes, I said I was using them.
Yeah, it's exactly as you said, even when you got them, but there was an instant where they weren't here.
That's not possible. We walked in, they were here.
A fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a moment, they were not here. And there was something else where they were before they were back in your hands. It told me
Okay.
I shouldn't know, that I don't want to know.
Okay.
I should.
This joke is not funny, Eleanor.
No, it's not funny. Am I laughing?
You're starting to terrify me.
I'm sorry, Ben. I don't know what's happening. I
don't think either of us know.
I didn't expect that this conversation was going to go this way at all, and I'm so sorry to have.
It's just, I've never seen you this upset, and this, frankly, the things you're saying, it just scare the shit out of me.
Yeah. I don't, do you read a lot?
Honestly, not really. I mean, I can read, but I'm more of a learn as you go kind of person. But
Oh, that's very doable and very workable.
I mean, why?
Because I was reminded of something that I read a long time ago about lands in Dream like this, but not with other gods from other places. And I was just reminded of all of that and creatures like you described in the Goblin Roads and stars that aren't our own.
That I don't want to remember that night in the Goblin Road. I saw things.
Oh, yes, because I wasn't here and you didn't actually tell me about it.
I never told you I went to the Goblin Roads, and I don't want to remember it.
Oh, well, I won't make you remember it. I'm sorry for bringing it up. You should definitely stay away from them. They're very not safe.
Yeah, I'm not feeling very good about my shop at the moment either. I think I'm going to close for the night.
Good idea. Oh, here are your cards back.
Mm.
They're not very useful now, are they?
You keep them, please.
Are you? May I compensate you for them? I feel
Oh,
terrible.
No. It's a gift freely given. Please.
Thank you, Ben.
They're imprinted to you now.
Yeah, a bunch of disaster. I fan them out.
And they are still all the tower. Yeah. If it turns out to be a trick, seriously, whoever did it, let me know, because we could get very rich off this person.
we could. It would be a little bit like the spiritualism thing, but
yeah, people don't pull the wool over my eyes like that, and something that's not right. But yeah, I'm going to close for the night, Eleanor.
Good idea. Do you have someplace safe to go?
Oh yeah. Oh, I've got somewhere I'm going to go.
Good.
I've got to ask some questions. If I hear anything important, I'll let you know, because
Please.
It affects the both of us.
Yes. And if I learn anything, I will be sure to let you know as well.
Not here. I'll send you the new place.
All right.
I'm going to have movers coming tomorrow to pack up my shit.
Yes. That seems wise.
Yeah.
These walls are compromised now.
Oh, yeah. Where's my sire when I need him? Oh, yeah, Dad. Never mind.
I know this. This feeling.
Yeah.
I was hoping my sire would come and help. They always do, but perhaps they're busy. I won't take up any more of your time, Ben. I'm so sorry for all of this. I hope you can forgive me for giving you such a fright.
Wasn't you. I believe you. You knew. The way you're acting now tells me this wasn't you. I just want to know who or what did this.
As do I.
Because I put protections in place. I don't just scry and read. So, yes, I'm not pleased. It's not from you. And I still want to know how I was here, apparently giving you a gift that I've never seen, that I had nightmares about.
Yes, I would like to know how that trick was done.
So would I. I'll call you an Uber. It's no problem, Eleanor.
Oh, thank you.
And he calls you an Uber, which takes you, of course, back to the steakhouse.
Steakhouse.
While the rest of the coterie is there. Now, before we go to break, I'm going to allow to still have the capture of the emotion of this moment. Who is already at the steakhouse?
It would be.
Roscoe? I know Jackie would have been heading that way after.
I'd like to know what my role did.
You didn't notice anything.
On 8 successes with
Nope.
Okay. With a fucking grit.
Yep.
Okay.
You felt pretty good coming out of there. You pretty sure that nobody was spying on the place. Mm-hmm. Yep. So Jackie would have headed there, I'm sure, after dealing with
Actually,
Philip.
yeah. Considering where the steakhouse is, it's probably about a 20-minute drive
Yep.
this time of night.
And Lamar, after getting his aggression out, had said he was going to head that way. Is Destiny already there, or is she mourning?
Destiny's in her haven mourning, also known as playing with Hyde and giving Hyde lots and lots of treats.
Okay. Is Destiny planning to go to the steakhouse that night?
Yeah.
Okay.
But she's been neglectful of Hyde due to Delilah forcing her to not
That's
be
true.
in her haven. So
Uh,
she's spending extra time there.
So Roscoe's there, Jackie's heading there, or actually will arrive there, Lamar. Jonathan, are you already at the steakhouse, or Jonathan's at the
Yeah.
steakhouse? Which, Eleanor, you'll be dropped off by the Uber. And I will turn the scene over to the 4 that we know there. Destiny, you arrive when you feel like you would have arrived, because Eleanor's bit took a while, but you were playing with Hyde too, and we know how cats are. So Eleanor walks in, obviously emotionally distraught, and I turn the scene to the players.
Yeah, I'd been there for a bit. I was going through the cataloging my books in the library to because I wanted to look and see if I could find any other books on spirits and that Eleanor had been asking about the last couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
See if I could find any better references for her.
Okay. And you can roll intelligence occult real quick. We'll get that out of the way, and then we will let the scene commence. And I'll tell you during break what you found. But because of the emotional energy of that scene, I'd like to, before we go to break, keep the pace going with that. Because
Can I use any specialization
yes,
on?
go ahead.
Okay.
Just so we're aware of what you got there. Good to know. Intelligence occult. Yep. Four successes.
Oh, gonna willpower that.
You're going to willpower that? Burn your willpower in the first half. I love when players do that. Five successes.
Okay.
So, Eleanor walks in. And Roscoe, you've come out of the library by now, but I'm keeping that in mind based on, depending on what Eleanor says, it may trigger something in your head based on what you were doing.
Oh,
Hello,
Roscoe.
Eleanor. What's wrong? What happened?
Oh, what
Are you
hasn't?
okay?
No.
Am I already
No.
there?
Lamar, Jackie and Lamar, everyone's there. Eleanor would have been the last to arrive other than Destiny.
Eleanor, what's the matter, dear?
Yeah, come on, tell us what happened.
I went. I touched a deck of tarot cards, and they're all one card now.
Does that happen?
Okay. Eleanor, do you need... Come on. Come on.
Do you have
I'm
the deck of cards with the tarot cards with you, Eleanor?
Yes, I'm still holding them in my hand.
They're not all the tower now.
And as I had said, I made them all the tower, and I see now that they're not all the tower. Oh, they're not all.
Come on, honey. Come on, honey.
More, Jackie, I need to talk to you.
Okay, let's go. Let's go to the conference room. Come on.
Sorry.
Come on.
Okay.
And
I'll
I
go
will
with her.
put my arm around her and escort her to the conference room.
Do you take the
You got
tarot?
this, Jackie?
You take the cards with you?
Yeah, I've got the cards in my hand.
Let me deal with this.
So I will give Jackie and Eleanor first, and then we'll come back to Lamar and Jonathan and Roscoe before break. Jackie and Eleanor, it is yours.
And I literally help you sit in a seat, and I pull a seat around, so I am right there with you, and I am holding on to you. Honey, tell me everything. Tell me everything. What's wrong?
Beginnings first. It's important to start the beginning. Do you remember when we were last together and we were driving around and we went and I saw the White Knight and the Black Pawn? You remember? Yes.
Yes.
I had been to see Ben, and he'd given me this, and I pull the amulet out and I hold it in my hand.
Jade, it's intricately carved. There's no symbols or anything, but it's jade with, I mean, it's been carved, but you don't know what the carving is.
What does it look like?
Lines, circles.
Okay, honey, put
geometric designs.
I am not going to touch it. I'm going to be...
Don't touch it. No.
No, put that on the table.
It's like the One Ring.
Oh, okay, put it on the table.
It's on the table.
We'll get some of the boys to look at it, okay?
He gave it to me. He said it was for luck. And when the vision came, it warmed up like a warning. And then the vision happened. But then later, when we were driving and we drove through the forbidden place, and I thought we were being watched, it was because it warmed up. Then too, it was warm the whole time, and then it cooled off. And I didn't know what to make of that because it was supposed to be for luck, and that seems very dangerous. But then I find out tonight, it was somewhere else. And then it was with Ben. But then I went to ask Ben, and Ben told me that he'd had nightmares about it, but he'd never seen it, and that I was never there. And then I said, but I saw your new tarot deck, and then I asked him if I could hold it, and that it was all one card, but it's not. Am I losing my mind, Jackie?
And she will gently stroke the side of Eleanor's face. No, honey, you're not.
Oh, good. It wasn't supposed to happen for another 200 years.
There's fucking weird shit going on here.
This is H.P. Lovecraft shit.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Oh, Eleanor, you are so perfect with the references, my love. You really are.
That's not supposed to be a good thing, but it was the first thing I thought of. I thought of Unknown Kadath.
Oh. So what I've given you hasn't protected you at all. I'm so sorry.
Not against whatever this is. And it's not your fault. Of
No.
course
I know. It's not yours. It is not yours. Please believe that.
I'm trying to believe it.
You are not broken. You are magnificent.
Thank you, Jackie. It means a lot coming from you. There was something else when I held the cards. I tried to look at where they came from, because Ben said he had the nightmare around the time that he got them. And there was a moment I could see it, that the cards weren't there. They were somewhere else, and someone was there, and they told me there were things that I didn't want to know.
I think you have your answer, Eleanor. This is not the being in the lake giving you visions. It's someone observing the game.
Yes.
Trying to influence us to act by giving you visions. Yes?
Yes. I think so. It seems.
And
seems
obviously, whatever's doing it is ridiculously powerful.
Yes. Very. It made it. How could it?
We were told not to go through Chinatown. We were told not to fuck around in Chinatown. Oh, fucking hell.
We drove through Chinatown, and I still am concerned that I don't know that this comes from there, but if there are very powerful beings living there, independent and autonomous, that they might have wards, such as we do at the club, to see when artifacts pass through. Of course, I didn't know at the time, obviously.
No. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, and I should have asked him where he got the cards. Oh, I'd be a terrible detective.
Don't worry about that. You'll talk to him again. You can ask him where he got the cards.
Yes, of course. Hopefully nothing bad will happen before...
Put the cards on the table, too. Let's have the boys look at them.
I put the cards on the table next to the Jade Amulet that is not the One Ring, but is very like the One Ring.
Okay.
I take out a handkerchief and I wipe her face from her tears.
Wipe the blood from her face.
Do you feel a little calmer?
Now that I've told you, yes.
Okay. Let's have the boys look at it.
Now, has Destiny arrived yet?
Destiny would have just walked in, like as Jackie was wiping the tears from Eleanor's face.
Okay, so they are in the conference room. So you come into Lamar, Jonathan, and Roscoe. Now I'm going to turn it over to Jonathan, Lamar, and Roscoe real quick so they can have a little bit of scene, because Eleanor came in and was panicked and got taken back to the conference room.
Well, good evening, guys. So, chances that Eleanor is okay and we won't have to kill someone tonight. Any takers want to make bets?
She was mighty upset. I really, we need to know what happened.
I'm sorry. Eleanor was upset?
Oh, yeah, she just came in. She was extremely upset about something.
Yeah.
We don't know about what yet.
Just talking to Jackie about it right now, but
yeah.
I don't like seeing her. I don't like seeing her that way. So
did she have another vision?
Don't know yet.
Doesn't sound like it, but who knows?
She had a deck of tarot cards in her hands, but I don't know what that was about. If anything.
Hopefully she's okay.
Jonathan, by the way, I need to talk to you and Jackie about someone who would like to perform at the club in the near future. So, whenever y'all have a moment, our old pal Sal ran into her this evening, and she talked about possibly performing at the club, but I said it had to go through you two.
You ran into Sal? Didn't she say she usually hangs out at, dead places? I mean, not much of an audience.
Oh, let her tell it. There's an audience there if you know where to look.
Something like that.
Hope it wasn't an audience like the one we had when we went out to Resurrection Cemetery.
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and not think about that place ever again. So, Destiny, everything good with you? Any more well-wishers on coming by to see you?
I mean, no one knows where my haven is, so
good.
No one's really stopped by. But anytime I do go out, I get a lot of pitying looks, and it's just it's sad. I don't know what I'm gonna do without her.
Gets easier.
And as Eleanor and Jackie come out of the conference room, this is where we're going to break. With Eleanor having a rather traumatic experience Roscoe being rather curious now, Jonathan being curious too, because a tarot deck.
Mm-hmm.
Jackie. From one roller coaster ride to the other, Jackie. And we will see you in 10 minutes, everyone. Please enjoy.
Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. I've always been the hunter, nothing on my tail. But there was something in you I knew could make that change. To capture a predator, you can't remain the prey. You have to become an equal in every way. So look in the mirror and tell me, who do you see? Is it still you? Or is it me? Become the beast. We don't have to hide. Do I terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. So embrace the darkness, and I will help you see that you can be limitless and fearless if you follow me. We are the lions in a world of lies. We are the predators, the hunters, the hunters, the hunters. Become the beast. We don't have to hide. Do I terrify you? Do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive? my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin to burrow within, to burrow within. Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Allow me to introduce myself, though I fear you've heard my name, and that you've heard the story of Countess Bathory. History is told by the victors, heroic warriors, and mad kings. Will you hear my story from the lips of Bathory? They call me blood-sucking demon, queen of hell, sadistic killer, a monster tale, bathing in the blood of virgins, beautiful, drinking the blood of virgins, the blood countess. Who is she really? Who is she really? Blood countess. Who is she really? Or je blood Bathory? I was very wealthy and powerful, a widow with political rivals keen to destroy me and take my property. My plea was never offered, all my confessors were all tortured, or how they destroyed me for my property. They put me up, shut me up, shut me up, put me up, put me up, shut me up, shut me up, and told a story of a bitch called Bathory, blood-sucking demon, queen of hell, sadistic killer, a monster tale, bathing in the blood of virgins, beautiful, drinking the blood of virgins, beautiful, the blood countess. Who is she really? Who is she really? Blood countess. Who is she really? Or je blood Bathory?
welcome back. Before the break, we had a scene with Jacqueline and Lamar and Eleanor, 3 different scenes. And unfortunately, we didn't get to have the rest of the coterie do as much. And I'd really hope to have more of the coterie, but each of those scenes kind of needed to play out. And it happened sometimes, unfortunately. I didn't want to split them up because of, well, shit that I had planned. We're going to pick up right after Jackie and Eleanor come out. Now, to set this scene again, you left the amulet and the tarot cards on the conference room table, correct? Okay, so is Eleanor still crying a little bit, or is she mainly stopped the tears?
She's mostly stopped crying now.
Okay.
Jackie's helped her feel better, but she still looks pretty terrible.
You can tell she has been crying, but there's no blood tears at this moment, but you can see a little bit of the blood tear at the corner of her eye still. And I turn the scene to the players.
Jonathan, Roscoe, could you come take a look at this stuff in here?
Sure. Absolutely.
So who all goes in?
Destiny will follow Jonathan and Roscoe.
Lamar?
So Lamar will follow as well.
Okay, so we'll all enter the conference room.
You all come in the conference room. On the table is a Jade Amulet. It's carved with geometric symbols. It's basically circles and squares and lines. For Roscoe and Jonathan, and Lamar, oddly enough, who have experience with this stuff, there's a pattern to it. You don't know what the pattern is. There is a pattern to it. And there's a hand-painted deck of tarot cards that you saw briefly. Destiny did not, but the rest of them saw briefly, that Eleanor says was full of the tower.
So Eleanor, what happened with these?
Well, the amulet was supposed to be a good luck charm, and it is a charm of a kind. It's not from here, from what I know, and the person who gave it to me didn't actually give it to me. He didn't remember it. He remembered it from a dream, a nightmare, and I did see what he described, a place of black hedgerows, and the stars and the moon weren't right. And it was on a pedestal.
That's what you mean when it's not from here. It's from some other place.
It's from somehow it is from somewhere else. And it warms up before I have one of the forced visions. It happened the last time, and it also seemed to react when we went into Chinatown.
Right when you crossed the border into Chinatown, or a specific place inside?
Right when we crossed the border, the whole time we were there.
You said it grows warm.
It warms, yes. Much like the coins for the club.
Lamar looks for like a letter opener or something. He'll pick it up and then he'll actually use it to just pick up the amulet, just to suspend it so that he can look at it a little better.
While Lamar's looking at that, I ask Eleanor, what about the tarot card deck?
Well, my friend told me that he had received it, that he'd gotten them about the time he had the nightmare about the amulets, and I asked to see it, the cards, thinking it was maybe connected. Mm-hmm. And I touched them, and they were all the tower. You know tarot, don't you, Roscoe? It was all that. And they weren't like that before, and as you can see, they're not like that now. But
when did they change? Do you know?
Well, there was an instant. I saw it when I touched the cards that they were there, and he was using them, and there was an instant where they were not there. They were somewhere else, and there was someone with them.
Did you? No, you didn't recognize who it was that was with them?
No, they were shadowed and unclear, but they did speak and told me that I should walk away.
Really?
Yeah.
What kind of voice?
Storyteller, what kind of voice was it?
Dark, gravelly, deep.
Deep.
But it had an odd, it almost resonated in some way, like it made your whole skull vibrate as it spoke.
It was resonant, not loud exactly, but everything vibrated deep, very deep.
Native English speaker or something else?
No accent.
Sounded like a native English speaker.
Okay, well, maybe it's just the voice that you heard, that you understood you heard. Storyteller, does that ring any bells in my head?
I've sent you a message about so far what she's mentioned that kind of grabbed you.
I hope it goes without saying, Eleanor is a very gifted seeress.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
I have been protecting her for the last 15 years. Because someone with this level of talent and ability would be vulnerable. Understood?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, gotcha.
You think someone's trying to send a message through Eleanor?
Oh, absolutely. But on top of that, if others within our society knew of the level of her skill,
oh, yes,
they would want to use and abuse her. And I have been preventing that for 15 years.
Well, let's continue.
Her skills do not get mentioned to anyone outside of this.
Of course
coterie.
not.
And I'm saying that to everyone, not just you.
Now, when you mentioned the black hedgerows, can you describe those more? So something's tugging at my memory. Something I read about them.
Well,
not too long ago.
Let me think. It was at night. They were very dark. Storyteller, when I had my vision, did I notice anything, any kind of detail about the hedgerows other than that they were plants?
You can roll. Let me see what you have here that might fit this kind of a description. You can roll intelligence and occult.
Awesome. Let's do it. Occult. Willpower. Let's see, that's 2.
So you have
Okay,
2
that gives me
successes on Eleanor. You can remember that there was no real temperature. It's not that it was hot. It's not that it was cold. It was more like both at the same time, but neither.
It was like maybe a maze. It wasn't really cold and it wasn't really warm.
Okay.
It was both, but neither. It was like something in between and yet beyond. And when my friend described me where he had seen the amulet in his dream, he had described it as a maze, and that he was being chased, perhaps even herded towards where this lay on a pedestal in the center of this garden under a strange sky.
So you both had the same vision about it?
Yes, he had a dream and I
right.
touched the amulet and tried to see where it had come from before I went and asked about it, because I had some questions.
Yeah, I think we all do at this point.
Many questions.
Let me run back to the library. I think I was just looking at that book when I was trying to find some other ones for you, for the questions you had last week about them. Let me go see if I can find that book and if I can see any more detail about it.
Okay, so you're going back to look at the book. Now, Jonathan, while Lamar's been holding it on the end of a pen, I think you said?
Pen or letter opener.
Letting it spin. It's a solid piece of jade that's had a hole drilled through it. along the width of it so that they could run a leather strap through it. A leather strap is one piece. One single circular piece. No cut, no slit, no knot. Single piece. Jonathan, you looked at it with Sense the Unseen, but with only 2 successes. There's something, but it's got an aura of some kind, but you can't tell what you're seeing. It's like flickered in and out briefly.
I come back and I it's not here, but I'm pretty sure I've got something in my shop that will go into a lot more detail about it. And I'll have to go up to the store and check it out.
If anyone had to have a book on it, you would, Roscoe.
Well, let's hope so.
Now, is Roscoe going to sense the unseen?
Let's see, can I?
Oh, yes, you can. Resolve all specs plus a die for your blood potency. I don't think anyone else has sense the unseen yet.
I do, but I haven't used it.
Are you going to use it on it? I don't know if Eleanor wants to.
That is a good question.
Wow. Roscoe, where did that roll come from? 4 dice, 4 successes. And you're missing an extra die. So roll 1 more die on top of that. Because you get your blood potency bonus die.
Oh, right.
You get 1 more die to roll.
How do I roll just 1?
Roll a single die.
Just grab the die off the bottom and throw it in chat.
Oh, okay.
Okay. No, so you got 4. When you go to look at it with Sense the Unseen, Roscoe, you see something. Something you haven't seen in a long time. It's not the same. It's related, but it's not the same. There is magic involved somewhere on this thing. It's not blood magic. It's a magic you once practiced. But it's not the same magic. It's, you might say, cousins to it.
Okay. Is anyone else looking at this with something that's
special sight?
Yes.
I
can
else?
Because I'm seeing something I didn't expect, something I haven't seen in a long time. It's kind of like the magic that I used to know before I was embraced, but it's not exactly. It's very similar. It must be related somehow, but it's I'm not sure how to describe that.
May I look with special sight?
Yeah, please do if you can.
And that would be resolve all specs from Eleanor with an extra die.
Resolve all specs, extra die. I'll leave my 5.
Once again, Eleanor rolls a crap ton of dice. And when you look at it with your Sense the Unseen, you're staring at it. An eye actually looks back at you and blinks. Just a single eye, briefly.
What color is the eye, storyteller?
Black. Has an iris, has a pupil, but the pupil extends all the way to the edge. And so you have the whites and in pure black.
Oh.
What do you see?
What's going on?
That is an eye?
Okay. No, I didn't see
blink.
that.
You didn't see that?
No.
Oh,
Lamar's looking at it like even closer now, but
it's
he doesn't see it.
a black eye, like the pupil's so dilated it's taken up the iris.
Okay. Is it looking at you? Or
It's just looking.
I'll look at it with Oblivion Sight too.
Can use Oblivion Sight. Now, see, that's an interesting take to use. Going to make you roll for this, though Oblivion Sight normally doesn't, but because of what's going on, I'm going to have you roll Intelligence Occult. Use your specialty, please.
Ooh. That actually gets an extra bonus because
It gives you an extra die for that one.
No, I get 2 because I chose Occult and Investigation on that 2-dot lore sheet.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be an interesting roll here.
Ooh.
And you know what? I'm going to willpower that.
Wow, you're going to willpower on top of that. Okay.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And a crit. So it's now 10 or 9?
5.
It's 8.
8.
Yeah, because you got 3 critical dice, but not a 4th critical dice. So it's 8 successes. Very good. I like that 8 successes. There is something about it that touches a bit of oblivion. It has a feel of almost what you've seen with some ghosts in some ways. It's not part of it. It clings around it like a memory, or perhaps almost like a scent of all things to describe it. But in your case, it's an eye, so it's a slight hue of it that's slowly fading. But it has it on it still.
So I also see this black eye now?
You don't see the eye. Your guess based on that successes? From what you understand, it's crossed the shroud at one point between life and death.
Interesting.
What is interesting?
Can't hear you all of a sudden, Plunderbook.
Very interesting.
What is interesting?
If I had to guess, this thing has crossed the shroud.
Okay, so what does that mean?
To put it in terms for you to explain it, Jonathan, you feel like it's at some point been the place La Sombra used to cut through things.
It's been places that not all of us have been.
Vague, but okay.
Like Kathmandu?
Madagascar.
Lamar, some of your clan may have passed through that area before.
Sicily, East Boston.
No, it's not of this realm, but another.
Huh. Oh, okay.
Of all the kindred here, only Destiny doesn't have enough experience with La Sombra to understand the reference that Jonathan just made.
Did your friend, Eleanor, mention whereabouts he got this or who gave it to him, or?
He said that he never had the amulet. He said that I didn't even go to see him when I did go to see him when he gave it to me.
So he forgot you came to visit him, or
it was not him whom I saw.
Okay, so do we take this thing and throw it? Throw it in a
in the lake.
In the fire? Not there. I mean, do we take it like to the kitchen, throw it in the oven, and tell nobody to use that oven for the evening, or?
Well, what would be the purpose of this thing?
I'd like to look into this a little further. I think, like I said, there's something in my shop. I think I kind of remember reading about it, but I need to go see it and if I can get more detail out of it. It was about the black hedge and how dangerous it is.
Would y'all mind taking a look at the cards too? Because those are as suspicious as hell too.
Okay.
Oh, I don't understand how tarot cards can be suspicious.
For some reason, when she touched them to get a better look at them, they turned all into the tower.
Is that a bad thing?
The tower is destruction.
Catastrophic change.
Mm-hmm.
Entire dynasties ending.
Yes.
Apocalypse.
And when Eleanor touched it, it turned into the tower?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Every single card.
Great.
Yeah.
No offense, I'm not going to touch those.
Please don't.
Please, no.
I don't know what they'll do or who's on the other side.
So, looking at the previous rolls for Since the Unseen, we'll use them for the same scene.
Storyteller?
Yes.
Lamar is going to set the necklace down. Then he's going to summon Arms of Araman to actually touch the jade part of the amulet itself.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Pull that up real quick. Now, of course, you can easily summon. That's not the hard part. You got to do your rouse check.
Okay.
And your beast speaks. But it's not the voice you're used to hearing. You don't recognize this voice. Destroy it. Throw it away. Get rid of it now. Now.
He looks a little conflicted for a moment, and then he's going to have the arm actually touch the amulet.
And you all see a shadow come from under the table. That's the most shadowed place in the room. And it creeps across the table as a physical thing. It's hard to describe. You've seen it, though. That night you fought the Sabbat, and he used it to destroy a rat that made Destiny quite sick. And this arm goes to touch it. The arm goes right through it. It can't grab it. It can't pick it up. Can't manipulate it. It just passes right through. And as it touches it, Lamar, you start seeing the table around where it touched starts to smolder.
Stop.
Is it supposed to do that?
Oh, okay. And Lamar pulls it back.
The table doesn't catch fire, but you could see it. You could smell it in the air. The wood started to heat up.
Okay.
Is that supposed to happen?
I've never seen that. That's never happened when I've done that. Eleanor, I know your friend gave this to you. and probably some attachment to it, but I really do think we need to get rid of that thing. Because either someone's using it to keep tabs on you, or someone can use it to keep tabs on you, and given how it's reacting to my oblivion, I don't think we should keep it. I don't think you should keep it.
I think you're right.
Please check the cards, please.
Looking at the cards, there's something off. Since the unseen, there's something off about him. There's a haze around them, covering them, hiding them. And all three, Roscoe, Eleanor, and Jonathan, who had used Since the Unseen, now that you're really staring at them, there's another set of tarot cards under the ones you see. There's a cheap rider deck under the ones you see.
Wait a minute. This isn't...
You see that too? The second deck.
Yeah, it's just a normal one.
Everyone roll willpower, please.
How do I roll willpower? Is there
Is that a frenzy?
You can just hit the frenzy button if you wish, because it'll do it as an automatic. It'll roll your willpower, and it'll also do your humanity bonus that you get for it.
Sweet.
Wow, nice roll. Jonathan 2. Destiny 2. Jackie 6. Roscoe 6. Eleanor an amazing 7. Lamar 3. 2's enough. When they start mentioning there's another set there, you see the 16th century deck fade. There's a normal deck sitting there.
The hell kind of trick is that?
Where did your friend... Did he say where these came from? Who sent them to him?
No, he didn't. He didn't say. I know they came in the mail. They were in a parcel. They were wrapped up, and he opened them when they arrived. I don't know where they came from. I didn't ask. I didn't see.
Anything with the Oblivion side on them? Or is it just...
No. But for the two, or actually for Roscoe, because of your earlier thinking back in old terms, it's definitely, I'm not going to call it an illusion, more of a glamour type thing where it was disguised. But
disguised as the older deck, but it really was a cheap.
It was really a cheap deck. But by mentioning that the other one was there, it was disbelieved.
Okay, so when we noticed the second deck, we disbelieved the glamour that had been put on it, and it reverted back into what it really is, that cheap rider deck. I wonder who could have done that.
Glamour, like fairy glamour?
Something like that.
That's a thing?
Martin mentioned it once, but not really anything in depth.
And sorry, Eleanor, your friend, he just has stuff like these things just laying around in his place. Give to you?
Hey, well, I got stuff like that. I mean, it's not unusual.
But okay, you're a Tremere though.
I see.
He is not a Tremere, but he is a purveyor of occult things, and he does tarot reading and sometimes sees things as I do. This seems unusual, however, in the time that I've known him.
Roscoe, you got anything like this laying around in your stuff?
Not exactly. Not like this, no.
So, and the deck, the cards, I have nothing else special.
But nothing like that.
Well, the amulet, I think we definitely should. I think that definitely needs to be removed because.
What do you think, Eleanor?
I think Lamar is right. I think that it is dangerous, and it's And it shouldn't be here. But
if it's not pressing too much, could you really ask your friend to figure out where the cards came from?
yes, of course, I will ask him. His special place was compromised, so is moving. I worry, though, whatever this thing is, can it be destroyed? And if we were to try and destroy it, would that not make whatever it's connected to very angry?
Well,
if there's a way that we have for kind of quenching some of the Tremere, like bloodstones, like putting them in a sorry, Tyler, back in DC, we had a
mercury.
Yeah, a thing of mercury that would quench them, that would keep them from communicating. I don't know if that's
immersing them in quicksilver.
Yeah, I don't know if that's something that would work.
Do you have any of that at your shop, Roscoe?
Yes, I do.
I would assume Roscoe, because that was a trick that he'd learned in DC, would keep some in his shop for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Would you like to try that, Eleanor?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I think so. Should we wrap it up so you don't have to actually touch it?
Yes, please.
I've got it. It's actually a...
Would you all like to come up with me? I mean...
Oh? You would show us your place?
Yes. You're my coterie. It's not secret.
All right.
Sure, why not?
Sure.
All right, let's go.
And you wrap it up, and Roscoe tries to pick it up. It's too heavy.
It didn't... You sure it didn't come from Thor? I can't pick this up.
Lamar hands him the letter opener. And here, you use that. Just
no, it's
touch
it's decided it doesn't want to move. Can anyone else pick it up?
I will see if I can pick it up.
You cannot.
Eleanor, you have to try.
All right. I reach to pick it up.
Wrapped in a napkin or a handkerchief, I assume. Either one.
Mm-hmm.
You can pick it up.
I don't want to be this version of Thor.
Well, the rest of us are not worthy, so at least
I suppose not.
Just carry it with us up to the shop. And
I want the deck gone too. I don't trust it.
Burn that.
I'll take my square out. And
there's nothing special about that deck. I mean,
I don't care.
No, I know. I'm agreeing with you.
Weird shit.
There's nothing to preserve about that deck. Burn it without any reservation.
Yeah.
So, Jonathan, did you say you're going to pull it out and light it?
I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to wrap it up in a handkerchief, and then I'll...
Wraps up easy. So, how do you get... Do you have Etienne drive everybody in one vehicle?
No, we can take separate vehicles and leave from there.
Yeah. Roscoe, do you just give him the address to have everybody meet?
Yeah, that works.
Okay, so here's the question. Who is in what vehicles?
Eleanor's with Jackie. Destiny can ride with us too since she doesn't have a car.
So
Destiny would hop in the with you.
Okay, Lamar, you taking your vehicle?
Yes.
Anyone riding with Lamar, or is it just Lamar, Roscoe, and Jonathan in their individual vehicles, and then the ladies riding with Etienne?
I'll lead the way.
I'm going to turn this over while the men are driving in their own vehicles. I'm going to turn the scene over to the ladies in case they wish to have a discussion on this ride. As I'm sure, Eleanor, do you hold the amulet, or do you put it on the seat, or do you put it on the drink rack?
I'm actually just like holding it like in my lap, like just sort of it's laid on my hands, kind of flat, and I'm just holding it while I sit.
Okay,
and it's wrapped up.
And I
It's
leave
wrapped
the
up.
scene to the ladies as everyone rides over.
This is not how I saw tonight going.
I don't think any of us did. But it's okay, Eleanor.
Oh, I hope it will be okay. And to think that I was most worried before this about the spirit in the lake.
It is the jihad, darling. There are always powers playing everyone as pawns and other pieces on a chessboard.
This is true. So the chessboard!
What?
Oh, we'll have to tell the boys. The Black Knight.
Did you see something else?
Well, I did not, but my friend did, and the Black Knight is on the move.
Who was the Black Knight, though?
I don't know. I'm not even sure we really know who the Black Pawn and the White Knight are, or who's playing which side, or even if
I know who the Black Pawn was.
You are certain that it was?
Yes.
Then the White Knight.
I know who the White Knight is.
That's what I thought. Then who would be moving on the other side of the board to counter that play? I don't know anyone named Fuck.
I know. There's no telling. There is no telling, and that's the thing.
That's true. I thought by the smile on your face, you
No,
might have a
I wish
thought.
I knew. It could be anyone.
Yes, it could be anyone.
I didn't know who the White Knight was until you told me the White Knight took the Black Pawn, and the moment you told me. Because I knew what had just happened.
So we'll have to see what the Black Knight does. I don't know. Well, the game goes on.
The White Knight is Waneka.
I wonder what he would think to know that he's a White Knight.
He already thinks he's noble.
He does indeed.
Or maybe I should say he knows he is.
Oh. Do you suppose the rules once set don't change on the board?
Probably not.
I will keep this in mind. After all, if there is any danger to the White Knight, then I would tell you, Destiny.
I appreciate that deeply.
I'll do my best.
I hope we can destroy this thing.
Me too.
I don't really like the whole weird stuff.
On that, you and I agree, Destiny.
Sorry, no offense, Eleanor. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that to be rude or anything.
No, you're all right. I know you're not talking about me. You're talking about this.
Yeah.
And other things that are very weird and more the realm of the Tremere than us. I have a feeling it will not be so easily destroyed. I think I was wrong.
Question for you, darling.
Yeah.
Did Delilah ever mention anything about being a fan of Greek tragedies?
And for you, Destiny,
Did she?
more than one play you saw with her, more than one she directed, detailed that you saw plays about the fall of Carthage. You saw plays dealt with the Iliad. You saw plays of the Trojan War that she'd like to either direct or take you to see with her during the time you knew her.
Yeah, she loved them. We would see them together, and she directed them all the time. And there was a workshop that she had me in where we were working on Trojan women. And
like what Trojan women?
The play Trojan Women.
Oh. My mistake.
But oh gosh, it's been a long time since I even thought of that play. I mean, it was one of her favorites. And,
she was a descendant of Helena.
Oh, wait, but that...
Delilah was?
Hmm? Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell you something. The reasons that she was here never made sense. Why would New York send an envoy to ask for money? There's plenty of money in New York. And why would they send a Toreador to negotiate money? You send a Ventru.
So
that,
from the information that we know, or that we at least strongly suspect,
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is this Winneck is not safe?
As long as it's not known, he is.
Winneck is in leagues with that old kindred.
Mm-hmm. I had suspected.
It seems like she has a grudge of sorts.
When you have eternity, what do you have left to do with your time?
I don't know, knit? God damn it!
You are young, Destiny. So young.
I guess I better find someone to have a grudge with, right?
Not yet.
I've got eternity to foster it.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Save it up for someone that really deserves the grudge.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I wonder how many of those plays that Delilah took me to see that Portia lived through.
Probably all of them.
Do you know, in Trojan Women, one of the most disturbing and yet most touching monologues is when Andromache is talking about how she had to throw her son off of the wall to protect him from the life and the torture that would have happened. I wonder how many people Helena has forced to throw their children off of the wall.
Now you're understanding. Now you're understanding.
Ma'am,
Yes.
we're almost here.
Okay, perfect.
When you pull up at a small little bookstore, does it even have a name, or does it just say rare books? And
it's nondescript.
Just says rare books. And as you approach the building, it's closed right now. He keeps it open late, but not this late. You step in, it's a very familiar smell. Old books, leather-bound books. It's definitely rare books. He's not one is what you would call a paperback. It's all tomes of various ages. Not just that, though. There are occult items you see scattered about the place as well. And he leads you to the back. And in the back, he does have mercury. Several containers of it. And I'm pretty sure he can find one to put it in. So let's talk about that.
Okay.
Jackie's going to be perusing the books in the store while they're back in the back.
Okay.
She's about had enough of this weird shit.
Destiny's going to stay with Jackie.
It's not just the cult books.
Guys, have a look around. Please,
Thank you.
Please do. Just don't touch that, though.
I'll keep my hands to myself.
Okay.
What he pointed at, that looks like the corner of a something. It might be a tablet. It's a corner of something. Just the corner.
Not going to touch it.
And his book collection is actually not just occult books. There are lots of old rare things. 1800 Shakespeare. He's
Destiny
got those on
grabs
some
that.
shelves. He's got a large collection. Philosophy. But it's all, I don't think Roscoe has anything less than 60, 70 years old in the place right now.
No.
Lamar will look at the occult books in question, wonder how many of them might be from DC or whatnot, or how many of them, just how much this place looks like a Tremere library.
It's funny, Lamar, you say that. The thing he said not to touch, you have seen before. And you did see it in DC.
He just looks at it, tries to, and then he'll move on to something else before it looks like he's paying attention to it a little too long.
So Roscoe and I assume Jonathan's watching as well. Is Lamar staying in the front while they handle the thing?
Yeah, just in case anybody, they do that and somebody decides to suddenly show up and be like, hey.
Roscoe pulls an earthen jar out, fills it with mercury. Now the real question would be, how does Eleanor put it in?
You can drop it in just by itself, not with the handkerchief.
I will unwrap it. And I'm going to hold the amulet by the leather thong that it's on. And I'm going to hold it above the earthen jar and attempt to drop it in.
When you first put it above the earthen jar, it starts to swing itself so it's not hanging over the jar.
Look. You stop swinging. You need to go. That's your new home now is in. Is it swinging more?
It's still swinging. But you're pretty sure you could time it if you wanted so that during one of its pendulum swings that it dips into there and it kind of is in trouble at that point.
I'm going to try to do that.
It's not hard. Even though it's swinging, it still has to follow the laws of physics, or at least it is following the laws of physics. And you catch it at the bottom of its swing and dip it down just enough so it can't, and it starts smacking the sides of the earthen container until it touches the mercury. And it comes to a dead stop.
I let go.
And it sinks. You see it sinking into the mercury. And everyone in the store gets an uneasy feeling. For just a second. Like someone walked on your grave. And then it's gone.
The hell was that?
I didn't like that feeling.
It's a little strange. I just put the lid on the jar.
Lamar, I'll just check out the window real quick, move a curtain, just make sure no one's standing out there or something.
Empty street.
I would like to premonition.
Wow. With everything that's happened, you're going to premonition. Please roll.
The narrative calls for it.
Please roll. It is resolve all specs, and you get your bonus, of course, for your...
I am going to go ahead and willpower.
This is the night of Eleanor's willpower.
This is the night of I'm just going to do the willpower.
Oh, you come up with 6. Your vision does fade. And the first thing you see is black hedgerows. And you see a pedestal that's empty. And it remains empty. And then your vision shifts. And you see a war being fought. It's not a new war. It's not even an old war. It's a war that's always been fought. And always will be fought. Can't see the players in it. You can't see who's fighting. But it is a war. Pieces come and go. Games come and go. But you watch it play out. And then you see a chessboard. But from a different perspective. For once, you're not looking at it from the side. You're looking at it from the point of view of the black player. And a woman's hand reaches out, grabs the black knight, and removes a white pawn from the board. And your vision returns to you.
She took the white pawn. Black knight. White pawn is gone.
I will say, based on your successes, it hasn't happened yet. This time it was a true premonition. A vision of the future. Unlike the other ones where you saw it as it happened, this one is the future.
No, it hasn't happened yet. She's going to use the black knight to take a white pawn.
She's going to, you know who?
I saw her hand. She moved the piece. Black player. And of course, the everlasting war goes on around the board. Before and after. But I think we neutralized the amulet. The pedestal was empty.
So you had a vision, the same vision of the hedges and pedestal that
Yes.
you told us before?
Yes, this black hedgerows and the pedestal in the middle of the clearing.
Do you have any any detail on that pedestal? Was there any kind of inscription or markings or anything?
There were, but you can't read them. They're in a language you've never seen.
Could I attempt to reproduce them, storyteller?
Intelligence and craft.
Alrighty. May I use my drawing?
Of course, that's what you're doing is drawing.
Awesome. Intelligence. Click the button and craft.
Three. You draw a rough approximation, but you can tell it's not right.
Oh,
but you're not sure you could draw it completely right. It feels to you as if it's almost missing a dimension.
It's not right, Roscoe. There's another dimension I can't draw in to make it correct.
Okay, I understand.
It just kind of looks like scribbles, doesn't it?
Kind of. But we're here at my shop now. Let me go look at that reference I had thought about the hedges. Maybe we can find something in there and you can have a look at it and see if it seems to be a match for what you saw in you've seen before.
Yeah, yes, of course.
So Roscoe's going to be spending quite a bit of time to research. You may not even find it at night. You don't remember what book, but you know you've seen something about that. What is the coterie doing? Is Eleanor going to wait, or are people going to? I mean, it's not quite dawn, but it's getting late in the evening with everything that's going on. What is everyone's plan? Roscoe, we know yours. Jackie?
It's very late and closer to dawn. She'll probably make her way to her haven.
It's not quite close to dawn, but from the way Roscoe's talking, he'll be looking until dawn at least.
Yeah. I don't know.
Jackie's had a disturbing evening for Jackie,
yeah.
I think.
Is there anything you guys would like to do?
Jackie and Lamar and Destiny, you weren't standing there when I said I had a real vision. She's going to move the Black Knight to take a white pawn.
So she hasn't yet?
No, but I can't say when. But I saw her do it.
Well, we don't know until it happens.
I just didn't want you to...
I appreciate it. But we don't know until it happens. And we don't know who they are.
No. They are very dead. About to be.
That's not comforting.
No.
These are the games elders play.
Whatever will you do when you get there, Jackie?
Probably the same thing, to be perfectly honest.
So where's everybody going? Now, Roscoe knows it may take a while, so Eleanor may not even want to stay there.
You guys go back to your respective havens. I'll keep working on this, and I'll let you know as soon as I find something.
Thank you for the hospitality, Roscoe.
Yes, thank
Absolutely.
you.
Thanks for the invite.
And for the help.
Oh, absolutely. You're all welcome back anytime.
So, Jackie, I assume you're taking Eleanor home? Do you take Destiny home as well? Or
Destiny,
does
would you
Destiny...
would you like a ride home?
Destiny shakes her head. No, I'm gonna Uber.
Okay.
Okay, so Eleanor and Jackie are going to go, and we'll give you a scene in a second here. Lamar, what are you doing?
Lamar is going to hit that old dusty trail and head on back to his haven.
Okay. Jonathan, your plan?
Quick
Gotta
stop by
unmute.
the chantry.
You're going to the chantry? Okay. So let's do, we'll give Jackie and Eleanor their scene on the car ride as they leave here. Because I could tell by Jackie's face she is worried about Eleanor and wants to speak with her.
Eleanor, I appreciate you not questioning things that you had not been told when I was speaking with Destiny earlier. I did not intentionally try to keep you in the dark. I just had no moment to speak with you in private.
I understand.
Delilah was a threat to Destiny.
Yes.
Delilah threatened Lamar.
Yes.
In our domain.
Yes. She was a terrible person.
I ensured she got removed.
Oh. Good. For good, removed.
Black Knight.
Oh.
White Knight took out the Black Pawn.
Oh.
When you had that vision, I had just gotten word that the deed was done.
Oh. Well, of course, the timing is, absolutely coincidence, but planned.
Oh, of course.
But, well.
You know me, Eleanor. You know what I am capable of when I offer my protection.
Oh, yes. And I told Destiny that you look out for people that whom you've decided to protect and whom you care for. I was right. It just was a little bit quicker than I thought, I suppose.
Obviously, that one is very efficient. Even surprised me a little bit.
Yes.
Good to know. Very good to know.
And good thing that that one is not against us for now.
Indeed. He has, militarized his homeless.
Oh.
Yeah, he has an army.
Oh.
I don't know what he's waiting for, but he has an army for it. And I am not too concerned about that night, because that night is well insulated.
Mm-hmm. Good.
But not to say with who's moving pieces around that even that would stop it, but...
No, and who is the other player? I wonder.
Oh, I think I know that too.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
The one in the graveyard?
No.
No? Something
one
else?
in the lake.
Oh.
Opposes what she's been doing. And is angry.
Oh.
That's what I gather from it.
Oh, yes. I had thought that what was in the lake was a spirit, but perhaps it is far higher order than that.
Perhaps. Or perhaps it is. I don't know. I have no... I don't know anything about that stuff.
No, I know.
But whatever it is... It's fighting her.
Yes.
And kindred are going to fall.
Yes. And we are all trapped here in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like New Orleans.
No, it's not. It's not like Paris. It's not like DC. It's not like New Orleans. No, we are trapped. We are in the fishbowl, darling. And people are throwing spears at us.
Big ones.
Yeah.
And jade ones. And who knows what else.
You may still get visions forced upon you. It depends on what suppressing that has made it decide.
If I were optimistic, I would say that I get a break for a while, but I'm afraid I'm too old to be very optimistic.
Indeed, darling. We do become a bit jaded with age, don't we?
Yes. And, well, I suppose since this is what I'm very good at, it was only a matter of time before something
took advantage.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Of course it's okay, Jackie. It's nothing you have any control over. I know how upsetting the weird shit is for you. But I appreciate that you're here.
I will always try to be.
I know. And you know that if there's anything I can do for you with this, I will do it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And so now we flash to Jonathan, who's arrived at the Chantry. Of course, it's another night at the Chantry. Not going to call them guards, but the keepers of the door, the ones who watch the door, open it as you approach without a word to you. Where do you go?
See if Abraham's in first.
Okay, you go up, and his door is closed. I assume you knock as always. And enter.
I'll walk in. I'll bow and gently close the door behind me.
Mr. Berkeley. Good evening, Jonathan. Rather interesting. I was hoping you'd stop in. Please have a seat.
Of course, my regent.
What can I do for you?
Been having some rather interesting items show up recently that an associate got a hold of. I'll think cards out. Go wrap up.
And he picks them up. It's a tarot deck. Cheap one at that.
It's not what they were at first.
What were they at first?
They appeared to be much, much older. And from my understanding, when my associate touched them, they all turned into the tower for a brief moment.
Now that's odd.
Very.
It's very odd. Where did they get them?
They didn't say. They said they'd get them from a friend.
I'm going to have to take a look at them. Matter of fact, I'll see what I can figure out. You're saying they were disguised by something which is not something our kind do. But there are others in the city that I am aware of that have that capability. We avoid them, they avoid us. Let's just say that it is a beneficial arrangement that way. But I'll see what I can do.
Any word yet on helping any of the other members of the pantry?
Yes, actually. That's why I was hoping you would stop in. And then the door opens behind you. And you hear someone step in the door and close it. And you can smell her perfume. You've smelled it before. Portia is now in the room with you. And Abraham gets a very different look on his face, a very hard look on his face. You are going to step away and spend some time with her. She has questions about house core tricks and what your sire was doing. And Jonathan, you feel a woman's hand touch your shoulder. And your vision goes black. This is where we end this episode. Of course, right off, viewer XP, everyone. Jackie, Lamar, and Destiny. Holy shit, crushed viewer XP. That was crazy.
That epic cock block. My girl.
Yeah, that was an epic. That was some tag team shit. That was unplanned by the players. That was just straight off the cuff role play, and it came out perfect.
It was so good.
The viewers loved it too. And so for the viewer vote, please pop over to our Discord, whatever here. Vote on who gets some player XP, because as you can see, we like to let the viewers vote on who gets bonus. And this is a fucking starved game.
Mm-hmm.
And so everyone wants XP.
So how much do we get for that?
You each get one.
Okay.
So let me see here. Hang on. No, you just get one. Can't count out too much yet.
Okay.
But I have a feeling after this episode, people are going to be handing out even more, because this is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So if you like what we're doing, well, first of all, let me say it again. Go to the Discord.
Please
It's
vote.
not just to vote. We cast our shows from the Discord, all of our streams, even the one-shots and chronicles, they all come from the street thing. We've got a great community of supportive people, and it gets a little crazy. This shit gets off just unhinged. And even some nights you might get to pop into Zoom chat with the cast members of various shows, because we do weekly Zoom chats just hanging out with Discord members to help them interact with each other. So pop into the Discord. Come hang out a bit. If you like what we're doing, subscribe or follow or both at the same time. Either one. If you're watching on YouTube, of course, free subscriptions. Go ahead, do your thing. Bits and donations, those go to the players, not the storyteller. That and relent. Sorry, neither of us get the bits or donations. That's to the players, as a way to show appreciation for what they're doing.
Shanky has to buy my shit.
Yes, I do. I buy her all the wine and rum she can have.
Yes.
So that works out pretty well for us overall. Check out our friends list over here. We got a whole list of people. After this airs, Macabre Derek's doing his things. He's back to his Detroit again.
Did you mention merch?
No, I haven't got there yet.
Okay.
She's all ahead of me. But yeah, check out our list of people. We got a number of people we like. Check them out over here. Junie, we love Junie. She streams Saturdays. Vampire shit, and we love vampire. Junie's Relen's ride or die bitch. So,
yes, she is. I love her.
It happens. We have merch. Check the merch. Check the link right there. Go to our merch store.
Get Windy City merch.
Windy City's merch. His Plague Winds was showing on Twitter the other day with him drinking from his mug. It's become his go-to big mug.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let Relin do the schedule, because she's got the schedule. I don't know shit going on.
Yep. So, of course, today is the 28th of March, and We are going to be back again on Easter Sunday on April 4th at 5 p.m. Eastern. I understand if you're spending Easter with your family and stuff and having dinner with them and you may not tune in, but please, if you are available, check us out because we'll be back with episode 7 at 5 p.m. Eastern on Sunday the 4th. Coming up over this week between now and next episode, we have on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, Haunted Chronicles, Black Death Chronicle. That's going to be season 3, episode 8 for that crew. It's a Chronicles of Darkness stream, timey-wimey, wimbly-wobbly stuff. I think they're still in China right now. I don't know what all's going on. There's crazy stuff, and Lifesaver over there's in it, and it's...
I just wanted to deliver a message.
The last one I saw,
bodies just started counting up.
Yeah, the last one I saw, Destiny murdered some people, a bunch of people. There was a lot of murder.
No, Destiny did not.
All right.
May did.
May did.
No, May
there was a lot of killing.
Her other character decided to go murder Hobo, and it was awesome, and like people were going nuts. She just wanted to deliver a
message, and she only directly killed one person. Everybody else was killed by other people. So
it's always someone else who does it. Wasn't me.
You know what? There's always a catalyst, and then the murder hoboing happens. Okay.
Yep.
And then on Wednesday the 31st, we have the season finale of Wraith: Life Derailed for season 2. Mm-hmm. Join us at 8 p.m. Eastern for that season finale.
It's going to be off the hook, y'all.
It is going to be off the motherfucking chain. It really is. Shit is getting real, and heads are going to roll.
Or to quote KMPO, it's off the chain whack, yo.
I mean, when you got Alexis, as Buchanan called her, the avenging angel, I mean, heads are going to fucking roll. And that's at 8 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday, the 31st of March. And then on Saturday, the 3rd of April, we have Ishvel at 3 p.m. Eastern. Also, that's going to be House's birthday. He plays Noah on Wraith, and we are definitely going to give him a big shout out that day on his birthday. But tune in for that. That is a D&D 5e adventure set in a Norse-inspired world. These adventurers are going around and collecting pieces of an artifact weapon to fight the big bad guy at the end. And it's coming to an end actually on the 17th of April. So there's only 3 episodes left of this show.
Yep. And then they're going to start playing some cock.
Then in May, they're coming in with some cock. Call of Cthulhu. Absolutely.
I just like saying they're going to play with cock.
I made a private chat for the cast. It's called Cock Players.
And they immediately jumped at it and started making dick jokes.
Yes, they did, because they are so welcome.
As you do.
Like I said, join the Discord. Crazy shit.
Oh, so again, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. We hope you'll join us for our other streams. And at the very minimum, we will see you on Easter for our next episode of Windy City After Dark.
And because it's Easter, I will be making sure that the video is uploaded at noon on Monday, rather than waiting until Tuesday like I do a lot of them. I'm going to make sure it's noon Monday. That way people can get it in after Easter Sunday if they missed the actual episode streaming.
They can watch it and vote.
That way you can get your vote.
We will post it a little early. Shh, don't tell Twitch.
Yeah, well, they don't, nobody, yeah, we won't go into that. And in the words of Chops, please check in on your family, check in on your friends, check in on loved ones. A lot of people aren't doing well right now because it's a tough time. And don't assume they're okay. Please don't. Check in on those around you. Make sure they're okay. And if you are someone who suffers from mental health issues like myself, and you need to talk to somebody, please don't try to do it alone. Reach out, talk to somebody, professional, not a professional, friend, whatever you have to do, talk to somebody so that you can get the help you need, because we can't bear it alone, and there's nothing wrong with needing help. It's just the way things are, and all of us at some point need help. And that's just, that's the way it is. And vampires show you, when you're alone, bad shit happens. It's when you're working together as a group, that's where the good shit comes. So from McStabber Studios and the cast of this wonderful game, I thank you all. And good night.
Hi, everyone.